Shut up and drive, 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 drive. Shut up and drive, drive.
Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Multi-21, Same Car Sunday, where this week we race radicals around Road Atlanta in America's Antebellum Old South. At least it was a couple hundred years ago. Things have changed mightily since then. Road Atlanta is in, or at least very near, the town of Braselton, Georgia. If that name sounds familiar, the actress Kim Basinger, or Basinger, however you like to pronounce it, once bought that town. It's the town where she was raised, where she grew up. And the town was failing. It was kind of falling apart. Had a terrible tax base. People were moving out. Nobody wants to stay on the farm down there. They all want to move to Atlanta, to the big city. Well, Braselton is actually about an hour outside of Atlanta, which is the largest city in Georgia, by the way. Facts, facts, facts. Anyway, she bought the town, and they thought that she had saved them. Well, turns out it didn't work out so great. I think she ended up selling the town, probably for a lot less than she paid for it. And today it's a sleepy little place. That is until the races come. And then things perk up tremendously. As we are getting our first times down for qualifying. We are now in lap 3 of qualifying. At least Willie Ham is. Willie has been winning a lot of races lately. He's changed up his livery a little bit. He's got a Pepsi livery. It says Max Pepsi, which is a new thing for me. He even has the sparkly bubbles on top. Spoon's here this weekend. Sporting his Belgian flag livery, as usual. There's Splatter. Thomas the Tank. Or, excuse me, Thomas the Train. And Firewoodman from West Country Firewood fame. In his shiny fire engine livery. And here's Marky. Welcome back, Marky. Get down to Justin. He is sporting the England Rugby livery. That rose represents the English Rugby Union, both male and female teams. Not to be confused with the English Rugby League, which is further north and we don't talk about. And the O2, that is I believe that's a wireless cell phone company, sort of like our Verizon, AT&T, whatever we have here in the U.S. Oh, Justin gets a little squirrely. Back end kicks out on him a little bit. Willie's lead here in qualifying is starting to shrink just a little bit. Looks like Splatter wants to give him a run for it. Splatter a little more than half a second up on Mark. And now he's just dropped another really good time. And now he's a second ahead of Mark. Mark's got a half second on Spoon. Spoon 8/10 over Keith. And Keith way up on Justin. For the moment, anyway. And Willie has dropped the fastest lap thus far. 1:25.6. Let's take a look at Splatter and see if he can pick up the pace a little bit. Currently at a 1:26.1. And Rob's on a flyer. Let's get a view from Rob's helmet. All right, his tires are warmed up. Oh, he just dropped a 125.7, indicating he is serious. And Willie's off. This is the crest of a hill, and you come into that corner blind, so you have to be ready for it. It's a tough track. It may not be the toughest track in America, but it's right up there with BIR and some of the others you may be familiar with. So Willie has an off, but Rob looks clean, clipping every apex, using every bit of the track. Road Atlanta. We call it Road Atlanta even though it's an hour outside of Atlanta. Atlanta being Georgia's largest metro area, even though Georgia itself has a population of about 600, 700,000. The greater Atlanta area is way over 1 million. There are a lot of outskirts. The greater metro area encompasses 5 or 6 counties, Brazelton being in Hall County, which is considered by many one of the burbs of Atlanta. Oh, he goes very wide. The car gets super loose. He just takes off into the grass, scrapes the barrier. And he's back on. Still put down a nice 126.3 on his last go, and yet a 125 before that. Still didn't measure up to Willie's lap. So Willie's back out. I can't tell if that's a new set of tire. Tire wear is minimal in our sprint races. Same car Sunday. Everybody drives the same car. It's the name. This time around, we're racing the Radical. A car you can actually buy for track day if you've got enough money. Because, as Junior Johnson, the famous NASCAR engineer, once said, speed costs money. How fast do you want to go? There are 12 corners on this circuit. As Spoon drops a 125, joins the elite club. And here comes Mark. And that quirky left-hander. Onto the short straight. And he just put down a 126.7 to go with his 126.6, his fastest lap currently. Now Willie just dropped another 125, this time a 125.4. And Rob Rob dropped another fast one. I don't have it up here on my radar, but it had to have been a 125.7 or so. Spoon has a 125.9. And Marky's put his doll livery into the pit. Justin's outside in the Screaming Rose. And a 127.5, not too shabby. And 2 1,000ths ahead of Keith. And Keith's dropped a 128 on his last lap. So 127.586 versus a 127.584. I don't think you can get a piece of paper between the cars at that distance. As Justin pulls down a penalty and has to serve it. Let's get back on the track with Willie here. Willie's looking good. Let's go back to Justin. We'll try something here. Let's take a look and see. Maybe we can figure out what that penalty was. Yeah, it looks like he already served it. And Justin, somebody's going to need some gas here since they're running out of gas. Which is odd. We do have minimal fuel consumption here. Race regulations, we'll do it in a nutshell here. Tuning's prohibited in Same Car Sunday. As far as the penalty settings, penalties are minimal as well. You cut a corner, you do a shortcut, you will get penalized for it, albeit minimal. Flag rules are on, so if you get a blue flag waved, you have to get out of the way. And that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot to it. We have 3 sprints, 15 minutes each. First sprint goes in qualifying order. Second and third sprints go in reverse order. On the race calendar, as you can see, this is round 11 at Road Atlanta. We have one more race. We will see you next week on the 10th at Interlagos. Current standings, as they have been for many weeks, Justin at the top with 1,220 points. Keith Firewoodman Madge not too far behind, but too far behind to really make a big difference unless something goes horribly wrong for Justin and horribly right for Firewoodman. He's 146 points back. Rob Ladder is 241 points back at Justin with 979. Glava, who unfortunately could not race today, he's working the night shift. Sorry, Glava, I hope you're getting to watch. He's at 864. He's had some great races here in the last couple weeks, including a win 2 weeks ago. Mark Burnup is sitting comfortably in 5th place with 535 points. And we have Will Hamilton, who, as you can see by the purple 51s on his line, won 3 races last weekend in a row, and I believe 2 the week before that. Will has not been in this series very long, and yet he is already up in the 6th position and jumped 2 positions in the last week. Ivan Nolan has not been able to race in this series for a little while. James has not been able to either. And Spoon writes Antebellum. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't speak Dutch or even pronounce Dutch or understand any of it really, but Sen Corin is on track and he did quite well last week. He had a podium in round 1 and a 4th place in rounds 2 and 3. So he has a total of 360 points and he started quite late. So he's having a pretty good series here. Let's get back on track. As all the cars slow down, qualifying zone. And to no one's surprise, Willie Hamilton has snatched P1. Rob Ladder, P2. Spoon has got himself into P3. Mark in P4, so Spoon and Mark on the second row. And Justin and Keith round out the third row. Race starts in about 45 seconds. Smoke if you got them. Go to the bathroom if you don't. We'll see you in half a minute. And here are your qualifying results. Willie just sneaks in past Rob with about a third of a second gap between. Willie, Splatter, and Spoon all in the 125s. Mark in the 126 range. Justin and Keith just split seconds apart. 2/1000ths of a second apart in the end. Keith just couldn't make up the other 3/1000ths, I guess. But well played. All right, we have 5 seconds to the race start. Come on, spectator. There we go. Looking for a spectator button. Let's get our graphics up. As we wait for the red lights to start. Feet to the floor. All starts are penalized, as you can see. And the lights are out and away we go. Rob tucks in behind Willie. Spoon's looking for a way around the outside. And Splatter takes an inside line. Tries to close it off for Spoon as Mark goes off into the grass. Justin to P4, Firewoodman to P5. And Spoon gets on the inside of Rob, side by side. Picks up a little bit of grass. Holds position. And takes it away on into P2. As Rob falls back. And with that little scrap, Willie Ham increases the gap. Now Splatter's right on Spoon's tail. Looking for a way in. This little crook in the track here. And Splatter takes the inside of it. Gets a good run and takes P2 for the moment. But Spoon, oh, and he goes wide. Oh, man. Oh, and then that bumps Justin off. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's not great. Let's see what happened. All right, we need to go back a little further here. Okay, so Splatter goes off, and as he's coming back to the track, it looks like he just got all out of shape and just gave Justin a little bump. All right, we're back live. Now it's 13 minutes to go. The drivers is spread out. considerably. And this race now has more spaces between. Oh, here we go. Now we got Splatter on Justin, so Splatter giving back the position. As well a sporting driver should, is now taking the race back to Justin. He's inching ever closer. And even with the slipstream, he wasn't narrowing the gap until just there at the end of this to start the downhill. But now he's got not only the pace, but he's also taken the position on the inside of the chicane. And there just isn't quite enough room for Justin to keep that spot. So on to P4 goes Rob. Justin trying to keep it close. Now Spoon has picked up the pace. He is now within a second or so of Will as they glide down through the S's. Very hilly track. This track is nestled in a forest in the southern foothills of the Appalachian Mountains in North Georgia. Lovely place. Fun track to see a race. It's a 2.5 mile course, 4.1 kilometers for those of you in the modern world. And Willie's heading up to the chicane. The last one before the start-finish line. Ignore those refuel warnings. I don't know where they're coming from. It seems glitchy at the moment. Now on the start-finish line, Willie puts down at 125.6 to go with his previous 125.5. So putting down beautiful laps. Pretty close to the ones that he did in qualifying. Spoon puts down a 126.2 on his last run. He's struggling just a bit. Now he's 10.5 seconds behind. Rob is pulling away, but pulling away slowly from Justin. Justin is keeping pace. Cuts the corner just a little bit. I don't know if he's going to get penalized for that or not. Yeah, he picks up a half second. That's unfortunate. So he's really going to have to push if he's going to stay under Rob's wing. And coming up to serve his time in racing jail. So that's unfortunate. Fortunately, it's only half a second, so it won't destroy his race in all likelihood, but it can help. And Markey is way back, 18.5 seconds behind. I don't know what might have happened to him a while ago. Let's take a look in the rearview mirror here, see if we can find anything that might have happened to Mark. No. Looks like he got behind a long time ago. And Willie with the 125.5 in his previous lap, also the fastest, and pulls 2.2 seconds ahead of Spoon, who's picked up a half second penalty somewhere. Let's go back and take a look and see what might have happened here. Oh, look at this. We got ourselves a little bit of a race here. Splatter got into second and then immediately goes off. That's a shame. So Fire Woodman takes third. But 7.5 to go. Willingham is cruising. Mark's pulled a few seconds in on Justin. And Justin now 8 seconds behind Splatter. Well, with the penalties and such. So Splatter now is trying to find a way in past Fire Woodman. Ooh. Keith gets a little bit loose. Right in his slipstream. He's taking much tighter lines than Keith is today. Yeah, with all the seesawing on the track, Keith is fast. Let's look at it from Rob's perspective here. Inside Rob's helmet. He has got to be feeling like he's... Yeah, and he gets a good run. Not enough, though. He has to back out just before the chicane. Had a good run going. Didn't want to make it happen in close quarters there at chicane, obviously. He's already had one off and knocked the driver off track by mistake, so I'm sure he doesn't want that to happen again. And look at that. Rob is just snow trailing him right on his wing. At the moment, here is your race with 5 minutes to go. This is quite a battle. Keith, currently second in the standings, is very good in this series. He's really taken to the radical. As Splatter gets a nose in on that big right-hander and pulls in third for the moment. Reels him in, takes third position, and widens the gap. For the moment, Keith, though, is keeping it close, trying to stay in that toe. See a lot of movement from Keith. A lot of lateral movement that you don't usually see. That car may be getting a little bit loose. And Rob has spread that lead out to a second. And he's taken off. That was great competition. Let's see what's happening in the back here with Mark. And Mark has dropped to 21 seconds back. He's having a rough time on this course. That car's so loose. It's unfortunate. He's been really fast. And there are 2 more sprints to go, so this isn't the end of it by any stretch. As Justin reels in a second, there's some naughtiness. That could help Mark's cause somewhat. And back to the front. Let's see how Willie's doing here. Not so bad. With about a 6-second lead on Spoon. Splatter's now 1.5 seconds up on Keith. 9 seconds back to Justin, who is 20 seconds ahead of Mark. Let's go to the front here. Let's take a look at the race from Willie's point of view. And And you can see how cleanly he takes this track, as long as the commentator's curse doesn't kick in. He doesn't listen to the live stream anyway, so he's safe. Oh, it looks like he jumped from 4th to 6th. That was an interesting... It was either a strategy or an error, but it was interesting. I'm going to guess it was a strategy based on how good Will is. Through the chicane, on into this last set of corners. This is a fun one. You just go flat out through this corner here, and you hit both curbs. All right, we have about 2 laps to go. And another lovely lap by Will. Not his fastest by any stretch, but with a 7-second lead, I would say you don't want to make any mistakes. And a slower lap is a safer lap. I'm back to Spoon. Let's see where he is. Yeah, oh boy, he just picked up a penalty. Just cut off a corner here. Let's see what he did. The magic of instant replay. Let's see what, yeah. He didn't shear that one off. There, yep. Yeah, it wasn't it either. Yeah, he's looking solid. Back to race view. And our race leader, Will Hamilton. With 35 seconds to go, across the start-finish line, on to lap 11, which will no doubt be the last lap. Ah, goodness, he decided to quit fooling around. He picked up a 125.5 on lap 10. So, Willie, my friend, you are not sandbagging. I stand corrected. Offer you my humble apologies. Yeah, Rob is comfortably away from Firewoodman with a 7.5-second gap back to Justin, a 30-second gap back to Mark. Mark is absolutely struggling in this race. Let's get on back to Will as he comes through the last set of turns. Through this big sweeper. Flat out through the right-hander. Oh, man. On into the chicane. Nip, nip, nip onto the curves to the final right-hander. Curb to curb and onto the start-finish line for a beautifully run race. Congratulations, Will. With just almost a 9-second lead. Oops. Sorry, dropped a pen. Spoon takes second place. Here comes Rob. Come around that last right-hander. Quick as can be. And takes home the final podium position. Here comes Keith for a good 4th place finish. That's not going to hurt him in the points. Justin takes 5th. And Mark takes 6th position. Congratulations to our podium finishers. Great job, Will. Oh. Looks like we got a little bit of a problem here. I'm going to have to restart this bad boy. But pole position and a clean race for Will, per usual. Hits the trifecta. And please bear with me while I get this race back on track, so to speak. Oh dear, we have ourselves a real problem here. All right, give me a moment while we figure out what's happening. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to back out. Please bear with me for a moment.
Shut up and drive, 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 drive. Shut up and drive.
Okay, problem's been sorted out. Looks like we're back on track. So it's a perfect opportunity to throw that little teaser your way. As you can see from that little reveal, Multi-21 is undergoing a name transformation. The powers that be have decided that Multi-21, while a perfectly good name, does not really fit the of the type of community that we have, let's say. So from Multi-21, we'll be moving on to Gen X Racing, GXR for short. Seems to fit the age and attitude of our drivers. So on September 20th, Gen X Racing will gen up. So stay tuned, everybody. It's a coming. So, good race. We had some pretty strong competition, at least midway through the race. All right, let's jump off track. I'm going to give a little comment to these folks here. Let them know that everything is cool. Oh, looks like Toasty wants to join. Oh, I hope so. That would be lovely. Toasty's a real good driver. I'm not sure all the drivers are going to be happy about it, even though they're always happy to have Toasty race. he is going to give him some competition. It looks like we're not going to be able to get him in. That's sad. He's a lot of fun to have on track, but I think there just wasn't the time. All right, let's get the graphics up. Ball starts penalized. Lights are coming up. And it's lights out, and race 2 is underway. In reverse order, we have Markey on pole position. Time to keep it to the inside. Oh man, Justin makes a swift move. Let's get on up there. He couldn't quite pull it off, but oh man, he gave Mark something to think about. As Mark squealing tires gets through the first set of corners cleanly, with Justin right under his wing. Justin's looking for a way around. And inside of 0.2 of a second. Justin gets the inside line coming in, and it just has to pull back. It's a tight corner here. Yeah, turn 6 and turn 7, you want to be pretty careful on that. Looks like that's a pretty tight racing going on here in the back. Willie, who's our speed demon, like he's trying to pull something off here. Let's jump back and see how that went. Oh, man. Yeah, that's wild. Firewood was trying to find a way around Willie then. Alright, back to live. And spooned right up alongside Rob. And Rob's trying to find a way around. And as he does, Willie gets in under him. Rob again on the inside. Spoon goes off. Justin goes off. Oh, man. Hits the curb. Gets a little airborne. And, oh, Justin's car is just going wild out of control. Manages to keep it on track. Insane. Whoa. Oh, man, that was something to see. We'll have to go back to that when we get through this set here. And Spoon gets the inside line on Keith, but through turn 6, he thinks better of it. Firewoodman, though, looks for way past Justin, coming out of turn 7. Risky move, didn't quite pay off. And that, boy, all these battles in the back have definitely accrued to Mark's benefit. Now he's got a 2-second gap. So all Mark needs to do is keep it clean here, and he should have a good result. But that's not to say Splatter and Willie are not going to have something to say about that. Yes, Justin has got himself sorted out. And widening the gap back to Firewoodman. Okay, so Willie's getting up on Splatter. Let's get it on Willie's helmet. Man, he's close. Whoa, he is close. And Splatter picks up a half second somewhere down the line. Oh, goodness. Man. So Willie wisely backs off since he knows the penalty's coming up. He's got a couple of turns yet. But he doesn't have to rush it too much unless Mark starts getting away from him. And Willie, with just a 1/3 of a second gap, should be able to breeze right by Rob as soon as he hits the penalty box. And here he is. And Splatter goes offline, gives Willie the spot. Now Willie has his sights set on Mark. Again, ignore the refuel warnings. I have no idea where that's coming from. So Willie is closing. With just a 1.2 second gap to Marky B. Getting dangerously close to that slipstream. And now he's in it. As soon as they hit the next straight, Willie's going to be looking for a run through the S's. And Mark gets a little bit loose the rear and kicks out on him, and that's the perfect opportunity for Will to pass. So Will gets the overtake done as Mark gets unsettled through the S's. Minimal tire wear, so the tires shouldn't come into play here. That's not to say that you can't wear them out if you have a moment. and you start spinning on track, that can eat into your tires a little bit. But tire wear's minimal. You do have to get heat into them at the beginning of the race, which just makes it more fun, frankly. Mark, he's keeping it close. Yeah, he's still in Willie's slipstream. And Splatter is in Mark. Oh, Mark does a terrible off. Does the lawnmower. That's going to put old Splat into P2. And Marky's going to fade to the back here. Not sure what happened from Marky's perspective. Let's go take a look. And let's go back a little bit further here. Still haven't mastered the art of the replay yet. Now, we just get to see him hit the wall. In case you can't tell, this is my first time using a keyboard replay. So at the moment, you're going to get what you get. Don't you worry, I'll get the practice in. So Willie's back, Mark is back into fifth. Willie is comfortably in front now, as Splatter took that penalty and possibly had a moment. And so he has dropped 3 seconds back. Spoon is 4 seconds back of Rob. So I'm sure he's not terribly happy about that. And with all of that action going on, we have more space between these drivers than my grandma has between her remaining teeth. So let's get on up to Willie's car. And sneak inside the mind of Will Hamilton. Oh, he's on a purple lap now. Lap 6. Coming into turn 6. That was a little wide. I think that is strategic. There, and he clips the corner here. And uses every inch of it. He takes a wide line through turn 6 and then really nips it off in turn 7. And you can't argue with it. He has tremendous speed. Gets a little loose through the chicane, but brings it home. Yeah, nice lap. Just puts down his fastest lap. Willie well under control. And Spoon's picked up a half second. This track is not very friendly to corner cutters. That's for sure. Oh, he takes too much curb. Gets up on 2 wheels. He's got it back under control. These cars can get squirrely, and these S's are not the easiest bits of the track to get through. A lot of blind turns. At Road Atlanta, you have to know what's coming because you can't always see it. It's very hilly. We're in the back with Keith. He's about ready to serve a half second. He is way behind Mark. And Mark has picked up the pace a little bit. With a 1:27.0 on lap 2. A 1:26.7 now his best lap. by a lot. Yeah, he's nipped off a quarter second. Splatter's put it down in decent lap times. 125.9. Lots of space between the cars. And another fastest lap by a Will. 125.232. Significantly better than his previous best lap. And just about matches it on lap 8. Wow. Yeah, just 0.14 of a second. Oh man, Willie goes into a nasty spin. Wow. I don't think that was just showing off. Let's repeat that. Let's see what happens. Maybe it is. Oh my goodness. Will, what's going on, buddy? Let's get inside here and see what he's seeing. All right, he's going through the S's. Oh man, just gets wide. Oh my. Man. And so Splatter gets his spot. Oh my goodness. Man, how the worm has turned. And that gives Spoon the opportunity to get into P2. How about that? Oh, it looks like Mark got kicked. Oh, man. Yeah, something must have broken on his end. Mr. Mark is a lot of things. He is no rage quitter. Mark is a fine sportsman. So that had to have been a technical difficulty for sure. And Splatter now is 5.2 seconds ahead. Man, Will got it all kinds of wrong. Wow, that is a rare occurrence. I hope nothing's happened to his wheel. That car is going crazy. And Spoon goes off into the runoff area. Catches a lot of curb. That's going to drop him back. Just 1 minute to go in the race. This is going to be your penultimate lap right here. Willie is inching a little bit closer here, just a tenth at a time, but unless Splatter has a rough go of it somewhere up the line here, he doesn't have much to worry about. What's going on in the back of Firewoodman here? A big gap to Justin. Justin is not breezing his way down the track, but he is holding his own. And that car is getting crazy on him. And thanks to that little maneuver, he's taking a half second. It's gone back up to the front. Let's watch what Rob can do now. Rob is into the S's on his final lap, 4.7 second lead or so. And Willie's struggling to keep up. As he tries to take as straight a line as possible through the S's. That car is getting all kinds of unstable. That's crazy after he put down 2 amazing laps to see it just all go so wrong. So Rob comes out of turn 7, gets a good push. Willie gets a great exit out of turn 7, but does not appear to be enough. Rob can make it through the chicane in the last couple of easy turns. This is going to be his first win in a while. And I think Rob may be playing his Joker today. Yeah, Rob's playing his Joker today. So this is double points. And he hangs on with a 3.2 second gap to Willie. And Willie shows a little bit of frustration and perhaps a little bit of joy. As he does donuts off in the grass. Spoon takes third. Justin in fourth. Firewoodman in fifth. And unfortunately, we had a DNF from Mark. And sorry about whatever happened to your race, Mark. That's a shame. Hope you can get back in. So Splatter races himself 3 positions. He took second in the previous race. Now he gets a win. So that's gigantic points. That's going to be 100 points. My goodness, he's got to be happy about that. I'll tell you what, I'll take 100 points any day of the week. Willie, no! That's what I said, Will. Oh, man. That was nuts. Sorry about that, Will, but nice run, Rob. Congratulations. That's a big win. Willie still takes home second place, so that's some gigantic points. Willie's also playing his Joker, so that's 90. 90 points plus 1 for the fastest lap. Yeah, see, you pushed too hard. It'll happen, brother. It'll happen. It is fun. Hello, Tars2814, who I think is not part of the team, but welcome to the spectator side of things with me. And goodbye, Tars. Thanks for joining for 20 seconds or so. All right, 1 second to go. Here comes the third and final race. Let's jump in and let's watch the lights go out. Both feet to the floor. Firewoodman starting. Mark could not make it back into the room. Really sorry, Mark. I hope whatever happened, you get fixed. All 5 lights are on. Everybody's got those engines roaring and lights out. And away we go to start the third and final race. Justin gets a great start and gets right up on Keith, gives him a little bit of a nudge, elbows out, takes the first corner, goes into the lead, and Spoon sneaks past Keith. Justin takes that corner really tight, as does Spoon, on into the S's, trying to keep those cars pointed as straight as possible. Spoon looks to the outside, gets a little bit of a slide going there. Has to back off, try to get that car stable again. Justin takes that corner a little bit wide, but recovers. Tied to the inside is Spoon, and Spoon goes off into the grass, and that gives Keith a shot at his bumper. Keith gave him a little touch, but that's not going to be on him. There was no preventing that. And Splatter's looking for a way in. And gets him on the inside just before the big right-hand sweeper. Got a great exit there. And Willie gets a super run on Keith. Looking for the inside. Oh, man, we got a lot of argy-bargy going on here. Man, oh, man, oh, man. That did not end up working to Keith's advantage. I have to go back and have a look at that. Let's see what happened back there. Let's go back a little bit further here than that. As they're coming around the final couple of corners, yeah, Keith just got all kinds of out of shape. Just couldn't recover. So that puts him back a couple of seconds. Justin with just a 3/4 of a second lead. And Spoon's got Rob right on his tail. But Rob has Willie even closer. That is not something you want to see in your mirror. Spoon is really pushing Justin. He gets a bit of a run on the outside. Coming through the big right-hander. Now we're going into the chicane, and Spoon with the advantage in takes it away in the chicane, goes into P1, and then just hauls away. As Willie is coming in around the inside on Splatter and takes P3. As Splatter tucks it under his wing, looking for the inside line. Some of these squealing tires like crazy. Oh, this is tight. Looks like Willie's rear is getting a little loose on it. Willie's looking for a way to keep Splatter at bay. Taking real tight lines, trying to close off those corners. Not make it easy for Rob. But Rob's got the inside for the moment and takes it away. And Firewoodman's off into the grass. Spoon's got a half second. So Justin's going to need to get up on his tail real quick. He wants to get that position back. This 8/10 separating him right now. So this could be Justin's shot. As Spoon goes offline. And that puts Justin real close. He gets a nice run. But Spoon's got the outside on the chicane. Ooh. There goes Justin. And pulls away into the lead. And Spoon slowed down enough in that chicane for Rob to have a great shot at him. Couldn't quite make it stick. Justin getting a little slap happy, but pulling away nicely. Oh man, took too much curb. Car got a little airborne here. Tiny bit unsettled. And Splatter picks up a half second, so Willie's smiling. Oh man, Justin cuts it very close. Gets off in the grass and pulls a second in for his trouble. So Spoon's gonna reel him in. 1.5 seconds. That was a blow. Justin's looking for a way inside, trying to get some of that time back. Oh man, and off he goes into the grass. And spins out. If he can get that thing back pointed in the right direction, he should be okay. Alright, he is pointing in the right direction. Looks like he is just gutted. I hope that wasn't the commentator's curse, Justin. That's awfully frustrating. Alright, we're back in Spoon's car through the chicane. Willie right on his tail. Splatter right on his. Race 3, per usual, has been nothing but good battles. As the boys head through the S's, P1 through 3. Oh, Willie! Willie has another tough moment through the S's. He's having a hard time with those guys today, and loses a bunch of time to Spoon. He didn't get off. He didn't pick up a penalty or anything, but wow. And it's been a rough go. I think you've got a lot of high curves there. Maybe lifting the car up a little too high. So that puts Splatter under his wing. He is very close. And coming up to the sweeping right-hander at the halfway point of the race, the 3 podium positions putting on a spectacle. Willie again with the fastest lap, at least so far. 126.3, not his fastest by any stretch, but a solid lap and certainly good for a race with this much fighting. As you can see, Splatter with a 126.4 is close to the fastest lap. Certainly as close as we've seen anybody in this round. Okay, so now Willie has picked up the pace, and he's right on Spoon's bumper. And got a purple sector. Into turn 6, looking for the inside line. Spoon says, nothing doing, man. Not if I can help it. But he can't, and Willie makes it stick. He was really wanting to keep that spot with Spoon because he knew that penalty was coming up. So that's going to give Splatter that spot. So Spoon, with that penalty and that great move by Willie, drops back to P3. And Willie and Splatter neck and neck. Splatter backs off going the chicane just a little bit. And back up on his quarter panel. Trying to find a way to the inside. Willie is doing his best to keep from touching. That gives Splatter the inside line into the first turn. And he takes P1 away from Willie. Willie sneaking his nose up on the inside. As we come in through the S's. And here Willie has been struggling these last couple of races through the S's. And that close to Splatter's bumper is going to take the air off of his front wing. He may want to think about backing off just a little bit, and he does. I think it was a wise choice, because it's really easy to get unsettled if you're that close to somebody through the S's. And with just a half a second gap, this is Willie's opportunity now to get a run through this long semi-straightaway. And Spoon takes another penalty and drops back another half second, which in reality is going to be more than a second, so that could prove to be the undoing of this race. And we've got a yellow back here someplace. Yeah, not sure who caused that. And back to green flag racing. Willie within 2/10. Right on his pipes. Splatter's got the advantage coming into turn 1, though. And holds on for the moment. Into the S's. Willie's sneaking a bumper in there. Just poked his nose in for a second to see if there was anything to bite on. Nothing doing. As Splatter holds position for the moment. On down the short straight. Here comes turn 6. Let's see if Willie can find a way around. You're not going to do it from the outside. Unless something goes wrong for Splatter. But tries the over-under. Great move. Couldn't quite make it happen, but now he's got to run. And we're so close to the end of this race. And Spoon takes another half second. Oh, my Lord. He's having a time of it back there someplace. Willie trying to get her nose in here. Coming into the chicane. Can't quite do it. No, almost backs off just a little bit. Man, Rob is not giving him any breaks. Rob's defending very well. And into turn one, Willie gets a lot of pace out of that corner into the S's. Right on his tail. More than wanting to pass, I think he's wanting to put the pressure on Rob, and it's not having a whole lot of effect on him at the moment. Getting into this squared corner, Rob gets the inside, defends nicely, takes a really tight line, tries to stay inside, but oh, he goes wide. That gives Willie a shot, and he takes it. But just can't make it stick. Oh, he was hanging on his wheel, so now he's going to have to be content to get a run here in this long stretch. And he does. Looking for the inside line and the big sweeping right-hander. Neck and neck. Willie trying to tuck it in from the outside. I don't know. He's not going to do it here in the chicane. Willie backs off. Both get through the chicane. Splatter a little bit wide. Takes a slightly wider line inside and out. That's not going to benefit him. And on through turn one, Willie's looking to sneak that wing into the inside on him. Thinks better of it. Tries the outside. Tries the inside. Looking for some way. And into the S's. He snatches P1 away. So patience pays off. As Willie just pokes a nose in through turn one into the S's, finds a way through somehow, through a part of the track that he has been struggling with. With 1 minute to go, Will now has about a half-second lead. It took him that long. But boy, in the end, he sure made it pay off. Splatter is not giving up so easily. If they cross the finish line, and I think they will, across the start-finish line, within the next 25 seconds, we're going to have another lap. So, yeah, let's get it done. Here we go. All right. We have another lap to go yet for our three race leaders, our three podium positions. And even with all of those penalties, Spoon is still into this race. And he's in the race. He's not done yet. Oh, man. Splatter getting all kinds of loose there. Wow, coming through the S's, he's having to finesse his way through. Willie, on the other hand, is looking clean. Willie's just put down another top lap, the 126.2. And Justin's day is done. And Spoon has had a bad off. And so drops from half a second behind to 6 seconds behind. Splatter's still in it. We're getting up to the big right-hander. But Willie just pulling away. Splatter's desperate to stay in his slipstream, and once you get about 7/10 behind one of these cars, the slipstream it has a pretty weak effect. Into the chicane here, coming around the final turns. Willie now almost a second ahead. And Willie, after a tough race too, pulls away in stellar fashion and picks up the win. Spoon comes in third. Nice P3 for Spoon. Fire Woodman around the last set of curves. Getting into turn 14. Across the line. For fourth place finish. Lots of good points. That'll be 30 more for Keith. So, well done. And, a great race on the part of Will and Rob and Spoon until you got that little mishap at the end. It was tight all the way. Well, great battles on track, everybody. Congratulations to our podium finishers. Well done to all the racers. Good points to everybody. Mark, I'm sorry about whatever happened to your link there, but hope you get to watch it on YouTube. Well, everybody, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. To all the folks in the U.S., have a great Labor Day. Hope you have a nice cookout, a good swim in the pool on the last official day of summer in America. And to all you folks in the UK and around the world, wishing you a happy Sunday night. Y'all take care.